Hello everyone, Antonio Armstrong here. Welcome to this special 4th of July edition of Strong Talk. As a nation, we're celebrating Independence Day, and it's only rightfully so that we celebrate your independence today. Independence from what? Independence from failures, shortcomings, downfalls, hurt, pain, anger, all the different negative things that bog us down in life and that cause depression and oppression, the very things that stop us from soaring our wings and striving for success and being everything that we were designed to be. You see, the forefathers of this country, they made up in their mind that the rule that England had over them was preventing them from growing and becoming the great nation that we are today. So what did they do? First, they identified the problem. They accepted the problem, and then they began to apply an answer to the problem. Many of you need to realize that you have a problem. You have an issue going on. Why do I call it a problem? The truth to it is, we may be adults on the outside, but somewhere inside of our life, we were hurt. And wherever you were hurt at, in that particular area, your growth was stunted at that particular time. In that particular area, because if we bring up that subject matter, if we talk about that individual that hurt you, if we talk about that particular problem, we can't even talk about it. We can't even formulate words. A lot of times we want to run from it or we want to hide from it. And the reason why is because we haven't faced it and we haven't matured and grown on from it. Every time we deal with it from an immature state because we haven't grown. We can't even articulate words to express the way we actually feel about it. You know how it is when you catch a kid doing something wrong. What's the first thing they do? They're running. They turn around. I don't know, it wasn't me. Same way we deal with our own personal pains is because we haven't identified that we actually have a problem. Once you identify you have a problem, you have to confront the problem. You got to confront it head on. You know, if you don't mind me having a serious talk for a minute, there are so many of us that are listening right now. You have a list of family secrets. You have a list, and some of you are keeping your mouth shut about family secrets. Some of us have been molested by aunts, uncles. Some of us has been our grandparents. Some of us has been our fathers, our mothers. Some of us have been mistreated by the very ones that call themselves our relatives. We've been done bad, abused, left out, disgraced by our relatives. And for the sake of the entire family, because we don't want to upset grandmother, we don't want to upset grandpa, or we don't want mom and daddy to know, whatever the reason is, we choose to be quiet and live with that pain for the rest of our life. Why is that a bad thing to live with that pain? It's bad because now when you process information into your life, you're going to process it through that stronghold of hurt inside of your heart, through that stronghold of anger and frustration. Some of us been hurt and frustrated so much we can't love. Why can't you love? Because see, love holds no grudges. It doesn't find fault. And you've been hurt so much that you made up your mind, look here, nobody else is going to step over me. No one else is going to treat me like a dish rag. No one else is going to treat me like a rug. No one's just going to walk over me and walk there and wipe their feet off on me any longer in life. So you fight. You're frustrated, you're irritated, you're always fussing and kicking up noise, and it's like no one can stay close to you long enough because all you do is run them away from you because you haven't dealt with that hurt. It's not even you that's responding. Sometimes people look at you and think you're bipolar because one minute you're a sweetheart, next minute you can be a hellraiser, all because you haven't dealt with that hurt. It could be one single word, one thing that was said to you. It could be an action, and you can perceive that information as the same type of way somebody hurt you. And what the first thing you do, you want to protect yourself. You protect yourself through your words. You might protect yourself physically, but you have to deal with it. It's time for you to stop worrying about what everybody else thinks, what everybody else might say. And it's time for you to be free. Time for you to be liberated. Time for you to live the best years of your life. And you cannot be independent. If our forefathers would have said, if the forefathers of this country would have said the same thing, do you know that we wouldn't be celebrating Independence Day today? We wouldn't be free today. We wouldn't be off today. All because not only did they identify that there was a problem, but they also did something about the problem. And lastly, once you do something about the problem, I want you to know that the war is not over with. You see, even though the forefathers of this country, put together the 4th of July and all the celebrations that we have, they still had to fight for us to become this great nation. They still had to fight to be free. They still had to fight in order so that we can have these great benefits that we have today. You see, it's not going to be over with for you just because you come out and you confront the issue. That little monster, that little demon is going to come back and be chirping in your ear. It's going to remind you of things. But now you're going to have strength to fight against it. Because you see, once the forefathers gained independence over England, when England came and tried to fight them in different areas, they were stronger now because the country became more unified and people were willing to step in and help one another now instead of fighting against one another. You see, when that little demon come in your ear now, you're going to be more fortified as an individual, and you're going to find yourself fighting against it instead of giving in to it like you usually do. Make up your mind. Today is your independence. You be great. Until next time.